For 4 straight days, Los Angeles, the city of dreams, has become a war zone. Thousands of protesters blocked freeways, set cars on fire, and faced tear gas and rubber bullets from the police. The White House has called it an insurrection. President Donald Trump has deployed National Guard troops and moved Marines without the California governor's approval. But why is LA burning? How did it start and escalate so quickly? Was it all because of a rumor? The tension started on June 6th when Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers, or ICE, raided 2 Home Depots, a donut shop and a clothing warehouse in the Fashion District. They arrested over 40 immigrants as they searched for fictitious employee documents. As news of the raid spread fear and panic, relatives and protesters arrived to confront the federal agents wearing camouflage and bulletproof vests. As the agents moved in, crowds blocked ICE vehicles and called for the release of those who had been detained. Protests spread quickly, with people gathering outside federal buildings and detention centers. Authorities responded by declaring unlawful assemblies and making arrests. Soon the clashes turned violent, with officers using pepper spray and batons, pushing crowds back with riot shields as some protesters fled or retaliated. The protest spread from downtown Los Angeles into the communities of Paramount and Compton, where rumors of arrests also added to the flaring tensions. The following day, protests intensified. Trump used his authority to call in the California National Guard, something typically decided by a state's governor. Trump initially ordered the deployment of 2,000 National Guard members. It was the first time the National Guard had been activated without the request of the state's governor since 1965. Trump justified the deployment as necessary to restore law and order, criticizing California Governor Gavin Newsom and Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass for failing to control the unrest.
Last night in Los Angeles, we watched it very closely. There was a lot of violence there. There was a lot of violence, and it could have gotten much worse. And you have an incompetent governor. Just take a look at the train stations that he's building. Like 20 times over budget. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. So I did call him the other night. I said, look, you got to take care of this, otherwise I'm sending in the troops. That's what we did.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth warned that active duty Marines could also be deployed if the violence continued. By Sunday, 300 National Guard troops had arrived in LA, but the sudden military presence upset many locals who saw it as a violation of the state's authority. Governor Newsom even called the deployment unlawful and warned that it would only make things worse. And that's exactly what happened. Several Waymo self-driving cars were set on fire by protesters in different parts of the city. Chaotic scenes unfolded as protesters clashed with the LAPD and smoke filled the streets. As protests flared across Los Angeles in response to federal immigration enforcement actions, the conflict between Trump and Newsom escalated. The governor filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration, challenging the legality of the troop deployment. In response, Trump suggested that his border czar, Tom Homan, should arrest the California governor.
Gavin Newsom he's daring Tom Homan to come and arrest him. Should he do it? I would do it if I were Tom. I think it's great. Gavin likes the publicity, but I think it would be a great thing. He's done a terrible job. Look. I like Gavin Newsom, he's a nice guy, but he's grossly incompetent.
By Monday, the protests had turned mostly peaceful. Yet the US military's Northern Command said that 700 Marines would seamlessly integrate with other troops protecting federal personnel and property in the greater Los Angeles area. Meanwhile, Trump authorized an additional 2,000 National Guard members to be deployed in LA. The president doubled down and said that the city would have been completely obliterated if he hadn't sent Guard members. But while LA continues to simmer over Trump's stepped-up enforcement of immigration laws, the protests are spreading to other parts of the country now.